Hello, Northeast District family. I'm here today with Pastor Branden Petersen from Res Life Church in Manhattan and Global Cities Network. And they have multiplied in one location with several more on the way. And Pastor Branden, you have a whole district listening to you today. What is an essential principle that has guided you when reaching new people in new places?
Well, yeah, thank you so much. It's great to be here. I want to talk about discipleship that leads to multiplication. You know, many pastors wonder, where do we find our next church planters or our next multipliers in the kingdom? And I think the answer is that they are in your church and they are in your community just around your church as well. See, I believe that people become kingdom multipliers through discipleship. And so we talk about a pipeline of what that looks like. And first, we believe every single believer, in fact, every single person that walks through our doors has the calling on their life to be a disciple of Jesus, because we say following Jesus changes everything. And then second, we believe that the fruit of discipleship is that they become multiplying disciples, that they actually become disciple makers. And I believe every disciple has that calling on their life. Third, I think some disciple makers are being called to pioneer something in the kingdom. It could be that they are pioneering an orphanage. We have one woman who pioneers an orphanage in Kenya. We have two other women in our church that have started an organization to gather and empower and mobilize women and disciple them in New York City. There are pioneers in your church. So how are you going to discover who they are? Fourth, some pioneers are called to start churches. And the model of the church is different depending on the leader, but how are we going to train those next church planters once we discover who they are? And then fifth, some of those church planters will become sending church pastors, churches that raise up and discover who the pioneering leaders are and then send them out.
Amen. Amen. What a good word for people to keep in mind as we're wanting to multiply churches. Well, it could be applied in a variety of ways. How have you applied this principle in your context?
I think one thing is to just see the people who walk in your doors or those who you are rubbing shoulders with in your community as potential multipliers. And we use the phrase, I see in you. And what if you were just to say to people, I see this in you? And then at each step, ask, how do we help people take that next potential step as God is calling them in their life? And then I think the final thing is just to seek out partnerships as well, seeking out partnerships with our district, with church planting networks and other organizations that will help you to train those who you have in your church to become multipliers in the kingdom.
Thank you. Amen. Yes. Well, thank you for listening to this TED Talk, 3 minutes to equip your church.